Hello everyone. My name is Michelle Roberts and today I'm going to talk to you about the National Curriculum Outdoors. We're going to look at how we can put outdoor learning at part of the recovery curriculum, looking at the Wildlife Outdoor Learning Programme and through some of the schemes of work we've written, which are known as the National Curriculum Outdoors. Through the workshop, we'll look at outdoor learning and why do it. How can we put outdoor learning as part of the recovery curriculum? And planning for outdoor learning, starting with what you have. We'll look at ideas, resources, and how they can be adapted to your setting. Before we start, I want you to close your eyes and think back to an early childhood memory. Was it indoors or outdoors? What made it memorable? Why do you think this is? Outdoor learning experiences are often memorable because they help us make sense of the world around us by making links between feelings and learning. Experiences that stay with us into adulthood and influence and impact our values, our behaviour, our beliefs, our lifestyle and work. What we see, hear, taste, touch and smell gives us 6 main pathways to learning. And the potential for learning is maximised if we use the powerful combination of physical, visual and naturalistic ways of learning. This is why learning in the outdoors often offers multi-sensory experiences. It gives risk and challenge and real-world experiences through experiential learning. And I'm sure many of you will have found when you closed your eyes that early childhood memory was probably in the outdoors, and that will be the reason why. We believe that outdoor learning can be delivered for any age and can introduce and reinforce and make connections to previous learning and help make it more memorable. As you found, many of your memorable experiences and one of your early learning childhood experiences was probably in the outdoors. We're often asked, how is outdoor learning different to forest schools? Well, forest schools is led by a qualified leader and has specific training and a child-led approach. And it does build confidence, resilience and self-worth, and is very similar to the EYFS unique child principle. And learning to be resilient, capable and confident and self-assured develops and learners at different rates. Outdoor learning is very teacher or objective led and takes the curriculum outdoors and is specific adult initiated outcomes, although we do provide opportunities for the children to explore around a given objective. Both of the opportunities allow the children to learn in new ways and develop connections with the natural environment using natural resources and materials. Both promote creativity and problem solving. But what we found through the research and development is that sometimes forest schools is harder to develop across the whole school, particularly at Key Stage 2. And this is why we found taking the national curriculum outdoors and looking at an outdoor learning approach is one that is fundamental to a whole school approach to outdoor learning. So why do we teach outdoor learning at Key Stage 2? There's increasing evidence to show that the children who have an opportunity to discover and learn about natural world and develop their sense of connection and belonging and responsibility, the children who have those opportunities, we know that it impacts on their health and well-being. And a recent study found that children from 9 to 11 who had been engaged in outdoor learning showed improvements in engagement to learning, motivation and behaviour. We worked with Sue Waite at Plymouth University. She was one of the authors of the National Curriculum Outdoors, and she came up with this model as to how you can really see how outdoor learning can raise attainment. So if we think of a particular example through maths, being outdoors, children enjoy it, and it may be that that you develop a concept, for example, fractions, but then they make their own fraction wall. So they're using tools, they're cutting sticks, and they're really enjoying themselves. They start to engage in the process, their behaviour is improved, and they start to experience success as they understand pictorially how fractions are made up. When you experience success, you will know that you feel better about yourselves, and that's no different with children. If they're experiencing success, they start to feel better about themselves, they're more confident, and with their confidence, we see an arising in attainment. And you can see there how that spiral diagram really shows how outdoor learning can lead to a raise in attainment. Outdoor learning also promotes emotional and physical health and well-being. In September 2020, the government produced statutory guidance, which is known as Health Education and the RSE guidance. And in that guidance, schools do need to show how they are promoting well-being in their pupils. We know post-COVID, we also need to get our children outdoors and active. And if children are healthy, happy and confident, they will achieve. And this can all be done through the outdoors. We also know that having coped with COVID and the research that's gone in to date, that outdoor environments are much better than indoor environments. They're better environmental conditions and can reduce the spread of the virus. So really getting children outdoors and linking it to the national curriculum is definitely the way forward. When we're talking about activities outside, we're very much talking about not just taking your books outside on a sunny day. It needs to be curriculum progression. And we were involved in a project with Plymouth University called the Natural Connections Demonstration Project, which supported teachers to embed outdoor learning in schools across Cornwall and parts of the southwest. And 125 schools were involved in that project, which was funded by the University of Plymouth, DEFRA and Natural England. And through that project, we found that one of the barriers to teaching outdoor learning was children were really engaged in the outdoor learning, but teachers found it difficult to link the national curriculum objectives to outdoor activities. One of the reasons that we wrote the books we have. So how do we get started? Best thing to do is to start with really simple activities and build on them, and then extend them to sessions. So try a few activities out and then try and build it into a 6-week progression, so getting at least one lesson a week outside. So in English, you can use the outdoors to inspire writing. Lots of that talk for writing can all be done in the outdoors. We've used story trains, listening activities, collecting of natural resources to inspire poetry, identifying areas on the school site that could be story locations, creating stages, and getting the children to perform their work in the outdoors. All leads to their engagement and also promotes their understanding. In maths, you can use natural resources to explore angles and shapes, gather data, which can be linked to building bends, and looking at geometry and measures through the outdoors. If you look at this problem-solving activity, we encourage the children to first build a triangle using sticks. We then progress that into looking at symmetry, looking at angles, and tessellating the shape, all of which increases their understanding of the key concepts. Debbie Lambert wrote the maths parts of the National Curriculum Outdoors series, and on the website she takes you through a video which goes more into depth as to how you can teach maths through the outdoors. So please do look at that resource. She also used something called Raccoon circles, which are made of tubular webbing tape. So you can see the white tape there. And she has a website called Taking Maths Outdoors, where you can obtain resources and training through the use of this tubular webbing tape, which makes maths interactive. So you can see there, we've created a rectangle using the tubular webbing tape. We can use that to talk about perimeter, area. We can use it as an interactive starter. We can use it for PSHE, so you can do step-in activities, random pairing. So a really useful resource for getting children outdoors. We also have a YouTube channel, which is known as Arena PE and Outdoor Learning at Home, which we've developed as a result of lockdown. And on that YouTube channel, you can access many resources with lots of different activities. So this particular photo features one of the music activities that was done, and this encourages children to develop their own sound quiz, to develop and make their own musical instruments using natural objects, and also to perform a rap outdoors using a musical grid. From that, we can use music in the outdoors to ignite exciting writing. So in English, you could use a sound postcard. So we encourage the children to find a magic reflective spot and listen and record on their sound postcard in pictures or writing the sounds they could hear. And those sounds could then be used to develop a haiku poem. So encouraging the children to think about how many syllables there are in a word, and can they then think about a 5-7-5 rhythm through the poem. You could use natural objects such as natural items to fill a container. They could cover the top with some cloth, do some leaf bashing on the cloth. You can select a V stick shape and make a V stick shaker. And children could then perform their poem in the outdoors using the sound postcard initially to develop their poem, but also then with their musical instruments, creating an individual or a whole class performance. What have Ofsted said about outdoor learning? Well, they are really starting to mention, obviously there's not been any recent Ofsted inspections due to COVID, but pre-COVID, they were starting to mention outdoor learning. You can see here a school in Devon where Wild Tribe was recognised as a key part of helping children develop their confidence and self-esteem and linking to SMSC. If you're thinking about embarking on an outdoor learning journey, or you want to reinvigorate some of the outdoor learning you're doing, it's really useful to make sure that you have a clear curriculum intent for outdoor learning. So it could be very simple, and it could be simply to engage more pupils in outdoor learning or to improve the emotional health and well-being of your pupils. How could you implement this? So that could involve staff training, the development of your site, development of a progression, a unit of work. How will you measure the impact? So making sure that you do some pupil conference before you start some of the activities, so you've got a baseline, and then maybe revisit that in maybe a term's time to see what the impact of outdoor learning has been. So start with what you already have. What have you got in your settings? Is there already somebody in the role? How confident do you feel about taking an outdoor learning approach? Do you feel your school needs more support? What support is available to help you implement outdoor learning across the school? Look at where you are. So think about your school site. What natural resources do you have and how can they improve? Are there any areas that particularly lend themselves to outdoor learning? Have you got any staff members trained? Could somebody take the lead for outdoor learning? How do you currently plan for outdoor learning? Do you ensure progression and knowledge and skills? Do you have a provision map? Do you use learning outcomes and systems for assessment to provide an informed approach to outdoor learning? These were the books that we've produced. You can see we've got one for Key Stage 1, which includes year 1 and 2, and then years 3 through to 6, which puts all the curriculum schemes of work for every single curriculum subject are contained within the books. And this was really as a direct response of the National Curriculum Demonstration Project. We wanted to support teachers in developing their confidence and linking outdoor activities to the national curriculums, but saving planning time. So literally you can pick these books up and go and teach any curriculum in the outdoors. So there is a launch video on the National Curriculum Outdoors website, which you obviously are welcome to look at. But what you will see is that we were very keen through the books to show progression in knowledge, understanding and skills across the key stages. And what we're trying to do is enable children and teachers to experience the health and well-being benefits of learning in the natural environment through the books. And we've even got schemes of work in French within the Key Stage 2 books. Some images of the books and some of the artwork that is featured in the art schemes of work. You can go onto the National Curriculum Outdoors website. We will send this PowerPoint out as a result of the conference. You can follow the link there and you'll get the opportunity to have a look inside the books. If you're thinking about progression, you can download a free progression map from the National Curriculum Outdoors website, and you can see there how progression is built. So in English, we're looking at the senses. So in Year 1, we're thinking about what are senses and how they're linked to poetry. In Year 3, we're developing a sense of place and how we can develop poetry through a sense of place. And then in Year 5, we move on to building on that sense of place unit using figurative language. The same with storytelling, we've developed those and encouraging the children to use the outdoors to develop their storytelling skills. What support is available? We have got a range of training programs that you can access. So if you're just starting out in your outdoor learning journey, there's the 2-day World Tribe Practitioners Award. We also have a 4-day Outdoor Subject Leader Award, which is really aimed at those who have some experience of teaching outdoor learning, but now want to take on the role of leading the subject through the outdoors. We have 1 or half-day school training that we can come into your school and do that training. We also have Wild Tribe Delivery, where we can come in and deliver various different programs into your school. That includes curriculum delivery, it includes leadership programs, it includes programs to build children's self-esteem. It also includes Wild Tribe First Aid and specific literacy and numeracy programs. So lots of different programs we offer and lots of bespoke packages. So please do have a look on the website if that's something that you're interested in. There you can see specific training on the National Curriculum Outdoors books. So Taking Maths Outdoors is also a training package in itself, and there is a Taking Maths Outdoors website, which you can see there at the bottom of the screen. And Debbie, who wrote the programme, has got a resource pack and a website specifically just to looking at taking maths outdoors. So please do look on the website and see the resources that are there. Okay, Juliet Robertson is the author of Creative Star Learning. She's written many books in outdoor learning, is an ambassador for outdoor learning in Scotland, and she's given us some very positive feedback on our books, and you can see there how she feels the books do help to look at the challenges that teachers face in teaching the outdoors. There's some websites there where you can go for further resources. So we've got the National Curriculum Outdoors website. We've also got some free resources that you can download from the Arena Wild Tribe website. Got the Arena YouTube there. And we've got the Taking Maths Outdoors website. We've also got a useful toolkit there that's been developed by Plymouth University, which can be downloaded, and you can look at how you measure healthy outcomes of outdoor learning through that toolkit. If this was a live session, I would ask you now if you've got any questions, but please do get in touch if you have any questions or you require any further information. These are just questions really that we're often asked. So how do you record an evidence impact? So we talked about pupil conferencing, teacher conferencing. You can record what the children are doing through iPad, through photographs and videos. And really it's about enriching and developing what they're doing that can then support them back in the classroom. If you're looking at funding, you can use catch-up funding to fund outdoor learning in your school. You can use the PE premium, you can use the pupil premium, and also there are various grants, and we'll be looking, some of them have been closed during COVID, but some of them are now starting to reopen. So Tesco's has got a community grant scheme that will support schools with outdoor learning. as well as others, which we will put on the website in the next few months as they start to reopen. So there's my contact details. If there is anything else that you want to know, please do contact me. Please look at the website, and hopefully this has been useful and you'll be inspired to either develop further your outdoor learning at your school or start an outdoor learning journey. There's some useful websites there which you can use should you wish to do any further research in outdoor learning. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the online workshops.